A woman who rises after a fall is a living testament to the power of resilience, strength, and faith. Life has a way of throwing unexpected challenges our way. There are times when it feels as though everything is falling apart, when we face setbacks that leave us feeling broken, uncertain. Life is filled with unexpected setbacks, moments when everything seems to be falling apart, leaving us feeling as though we are standing on unstable ground. For many women, the falls are a part of the journey, whether they are personal, professional, or emotional challenges. The true measure of strength lies not in the fall itself, but in the ability to rise, to rebuild, and to continue moving forward despite the obstacles. It is not something that one is simply born with, but something that grows and strengthens over time. A woman who rises after a fall taps into an inner strength that has been shaped by her experiences. When faced with challenges, she chooses to see them not as defeats, but as opportunities for growth and transformation. Each time she stumbles, she learns something valuable, whether it is a new skill, a deeper understanding of herself, or a more profound connection to her purpose in life. What makes resilience so powerful is its ability to build over time. When faced with adversity, it is easy to become disheartened, to feel like the weight of the world is too much to bear. But a resilient woman understands that every setback is temporary. She knows that, just like a storm that passes, the hard times will eventually make way for brighter days. This belief fuels her determination to keep moving forward, to keep rising each time life knocks her down. It's a mindset that refuses to accept failure as the final word, but instead embraces the idea that every failure is simply a lesson that propels her toward greater success. Rising after a fall is not an easy process. It requires emotional strength, courage, and a willingness to keep going even when things seem uncertain. A resilient woman does not allow fear to paralyze her. Instead, she faces it head on. She acknowledges the pain, the frustration, and the disappointment that come with falling, but she does not let those emotions define her. Instead of dwelling in the negative feelings, she uses them as fuel to ignite her motivation to rise again. Her ability to persevere in the face of adversity becomes a powerful testament to her inner fortitude. Another critical aspect of resilience is the ability to adapt. Life often throws curveballs that we cannot predict. A woman who rises after a fall understands that she may need to adjust her course along the way. She may need to recalibrate her goals, change her approach, or even walk down a new path altogether. But no matter how the journey unfolds, she remains committed to moving forward. Resilience doesn't mean sticking rigidly to a set plan. It means being flexible enough to adjust when necessary, while still holding on to the belief that a brighter future is ahead. This adaptability also extends to how she views herself. A woman who rises after a fall doesn't let her failures define her worth. She understands that her worth is not measured by her mistakes, but by her ability to rise, to keep going, and to learn from her experiences. The key to resilience lies in the recognition that each fall is simply a part of her story, not the entire narrative. Her self-worth comes from her determination to stand up again no matter how many times she falls. When things are tough, it can be easy to doubt oneself and question whether or not the struggle is worth it. But the resilient woman knows that even when the road seems impossible, she has the strength within her to keep going. This unwavering belief in herself is what allows her to rise time and time again, knowing that no obstacle is insurmountable. Resilience allows her to embrace vulnerability. Rising after a fall does not mean being invincible or impervious to pain. It means allowing herself to feel, to heal, and to grow. It means accepting that vulnerability is a part of the process and that it's okay to not have all the answers. The woman who rises after a fall is not afraid to show her scars because she knows that those scars represent her growth. They are proof that she has fought, struggled, and ultimately triumphed over the hardships that life has thrown her way. A resilient woman understands the importance of community. While resilience is a deeply personal quality, it is also supported by the connections we share with others. A woman who rises after a fall often draws strength from the love, encouragement, and support of those around her. Whether it's a close friend, a mentor, or a community of people who understand her struggles, resilience is often nurtured by the strength of others. She knows that in moments of doubt, seeking support is not a sign of weakness, but an affirmation of her strength and her determination to rise again. The true beauty of resilience is that it doesn't just allow a woman to rise, it enables her to rise stronger than before. Each fall becomes an opportunity to learn, grow, and evolve into the best version of herself. Through resilience, a woman discovers the limitless strength that lies within her, and with each rise, she redefines what is possible. Her ability to overcome adversity becomes a testament to the unwavering power of the human spirit, and she becomes a beacon of hope and inspiration for others who may be struggling in their own lives. A woman who rises after a fall is not just a survivor, she is a living example of the incredible strength, resilience, and power that resides in every woman. Each setback, no matter how difficult, becomes a defining moment that shapes her into a more resilient and capable individual. The fall may be painful, but it serves as a reminder that challenges do not last forever. A woman who rises knows that falling does not define her. It is what she does afterward that matters most. Her response to adversity speaks volumes about her inner strength and determination to move forward. She may stumble, but she never stays down. Instead, she rises with greater wisdom, newfound strength, and a deeper sense of purpose. The fall itself can be a humbling experience. It forces a woman to confront her limitations, acknowledge her vulnerabilities, and assess what went wrong. However, rather than allowing these moments of weakness to discourage her, she uses them as stepping stones toward a brighter future. When a woman falls, she doesn't simply accept defeat. She reflects on the experience, learns from it, and uses it to fuel her next steps. This ability to learn from failure is essential in building resilience. Every setback is an opportunity to adjust, refine, and improve. With each challenge, a woman's capacity to bounce back becomes stronger, and her belief in her own power grows. In this way, her resilience isn't something she is born with, but rather something she develops and strengthens through every trial and tribulation. Rising after a fall is not an easy task. It requires a mindset that refuses to accept failure as the final destination. The woman who rises knows that success isn't about avoiding falls, but about the courage to get back up. And she understands that it's not about the number of times she falls, but about the number of times she chooses to rise again. The decision to rise is a conscious one. It is an act of self-empowerment and self-belief. She refuses to let the weight of past mistakes or failures determine her future. Instead, she picks herself up, dusts off the remnants of her fall, and presses forward with an unwavering determination. Through this process, a woman who rises after a fall learns the importance of self-compassion. Falling often leads to feelings of disappointment, regret, or self-doubt. It is easy to be hard on oneself when things don't go as planned. But the woman who rises after a fall knows that self-compassion is a vital part of the healing process. Instead of criticizing herself for her mistakes, she forgives herself and treats herself with the same kindness she would offer a loved one. This self-compassion becomes a key to unlocking her ability to move forward. By letting go of self-blame, she opens herself up to growth and new possibilities. She understands that falling is part of being human, and it doesn't make her any less deserving of success, love, or happiness. Rising after a fall also requires a deep sense of belief in one's own worth. Many times after a fall, a woman may question her abilities or wonder if she is truly capable of achieving her goals. But a woman who rises knows that her worth is not defined by her mistakes or setbacks. She understands that her value comes from within, from her unique qualities, her heart, and her ability to persevere. When she rises, she does so knowing that she is worthy of every good thing that comes her way. Her self-worth is rooted in her resilience, her ability to overcome challenges, and her commitment to her own personal growth. This self-belief gives her the confidence to step into new opportunities and take on new challenges, knowing that no fall will ever be the end of her journey. In times of struggle, it's easy to feel isolated, but the woman who rises knows that asking for help is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of strength. She seeks guidance, encouragement, and support from those around her. Whether it's a close friend, a mentor, or a family member, she knows that she doesn't have to navigate her challenges alone. In fact, it's the love and support from others that often provide the strength she needs to rise again. There is no shame in needing help, and she is open to receiving it. She knows that leaning on others doesn't diminish her strength, it enhances it. The fall itself may have shaken her confidence or caused her to question her path, but rising gives her the clarity and focus she needs to move forward with intention. The lessons learned from her struggles help her align her actions with her true purpose. She becomes more attuned to what truly matters to her and gains the courage to pursue her dreams with renewed vigor. She no longer takes the gift of life for granted, but instead approaches each day with a greater sense of gratitude and appreciation. This newfound sense of purpose propels her forward, ensuring that the lessons of the fall will not be wasted, but will contribute to her continued growth and success. Rising after a fall is also an act of personal empowerment. Each time a woman rises, she takes ownership of her story. She refuses to be defined by her past mistakes or failures. Instead, she becomes the author of her own narrative, writing a story that is filled with perseverance, courage, and triumph. This sense of ownership empowers her to take control of her life and her future. She is no longer a passive participant in her journey. She is an active creator of her own destiny. She chooses to rise, and in doing so, she reclaims her power. Her resilience, self-belief, and unwavering commitment to growth ensure that no setback will ever hold her back for long. With each rise, she becomes a stronger, more empowered version of herself. Her ability to rise after every fall is a testament to the strength of the human spirit and an inspiration to others who may be facing their own challenges. She is a living example of what it means to never give up, no matter the circumstances. Her journey proves that the power to rise, to overcome, and to transform is within every woman, waiting to be unlocked at the right moment. When life knocks her down, she does not remain defeated. Instead, she looks at her fall as a chapter, not the entire story of her life. She realizes that setbacks are inevitable in any journey, but they do not define her. What matters most is how she chooses to respond to the fall. A woman who rises after a fall demonstrates the incredible power of resilience. Resilience is not something you are born with, it is something that is nurtured and developed over time. She learns to bend but not break. She adapts to her circumstances, recalibrating her approach and moving forward with renewed determination. Every fall teaches her a lesson that makes her stronger, smarter, and more capable. The resilience that a woman builds after falling becomes a core part of her identity. It becomes her strength, guiding her as she navigates future challenges. It is in these moments of difficulty that she discovers her true potential. With every challenge, her inner strength grows. She learns that even in the hardest moments, she is capable of bouncing back. Rising after a fall is a process that requires patience and perseverance. It is not about rushing to get back to where she was, but about taking the time to learn and heal. She takes moments to reflect, recharge, and gather herself, knowing that it is okay to stumble as long as she gets back up. She shifts from a mindset of failure to a mindset of growth. This shift is crucial to her recovery and success. She may grieve the loss, but she also gives herself permission to heal and rise. When she rises after a fall, she does not carry the weight of regret or guilt. Instead, she carries the lessons learned and the strength gained. Her ability to change her mindset and focus on the positives rather than negatives allows her to embrace new possibilities. By letting go of the past and forgiving herself, she clears the path for new opportunities to come into her life. Rising from a fall is not about forgetting what happened, but about learning to embrace it as part of her journey. She may have doubts, but deep down, she understands that her value does not depend on her success or her failures. Her worth is intrinsic, and no setback can take that away from her. A woman who rises knows that her setbacks do not define her worth. She defines her worth herself. This belief in her inherent value fuels her resilience, allowing her to persevere even when things seem impossible. It helps her maintain a sense of confidence that is rooted not in external validation, but in her inner strength. When she faces a fall, she draws strength from the belief that she has the ability to overcome whatever comes her way. This self-belief is critical for her to stand up again and move forward. Even when the world around her seems to crumble, she holds her head high, knowing that she is capable of navigating the storm. When a woman rises after a fall, she does not question her worth or her purpose. She knows that, despite the setbacks, her life still has meaning, and she still has the power to create the future she desires. She is determined to build her life with confidence, regardless of the challenges she faces. This unwavering self-belief is what sets resilient women apart. It is the foundation upon which their success is built, and it is the key to their ability to rise again after every fall. The ability to rise after a fall is a testament to a woman's strength of character. It takes courage to acknowledge that things have gone wrong, to face the consequences of those actions, and to choose to move forward. Many people would allow their falls to define them, allowing shame, guilt, or failure to become permanent parts of their identity. However, a woman who rises after a fall knows that those feelings are temporary. She may feel disheartened for a time, but she knows that they are not permanent. She understands that it is okay to fall, to make mistakes, but it is never okay to stay down. A woman who rises after a fall displays the remarkable strength of not allowing setbacks to dictate her future. She chooses to learn from her experiences, to grow stronger, and to rebuild her life on her terms. She believes that better days are ahead and that her present circumstances are not the final chapter of her story. Hope is what gives her the strength to get back up even when the path ahead seems unclear. It's hope that fuels her determination to rebuild and start fresh, to chase after her dreams, no matter how many times she falls. This hope is what transforms the pain of a fall into a source of power. It is hope that reminds her that every setback is temporary and that her future is still bright, full of possibilities. The fall and the subsequent rise can redefine a woman's relationship with herself and the world around her. Through the process of rising, she learns how to be kinder to herself. She understands the importance of self-care, and she starts to prioritize her well-being in ways that she may not have done before. After the fall, she reevaluates her priorities, letting go of things that no longer serve her and embracing those things that nourish her soul. She learns the value of setting healthy boundaries, of recognizing her limits, and of asking for help when needed. This newfound self-awareness enables her to create a life that aligns more closely with her true desires, free from the pressures and expectations that may have led her to fall in the first place. She doesn't simply return to where she was before. She rises to new heights with a deeper understanding of who she is, what she is capable of, and what she truly wants in life. Her fall becomes a catalyst for transformation, pushing her toward growth and making her stronger, wiser, and more fulfilled than she was before. Each rise after a fall becomes a stepping stone toward greater empowerment, fulfillment, and success. Through it all, she demonstrates that no matter how many times she falls, she has the power to rise and keep moving forward. Life can be filled with challenges, disappointments, and setbacks, and for many, these moments can feel like a weight too heavy to bear. However, a woman who has experienced a fall understands that these moments do not define her. Instead, they offer valuable lessons that help shape her into a more resilient, empowered individual. Perseverance is not simply about pushing through difficulty. It's about understanding that the struggles are temporary and that with each trial, she becomes stronger and more capable of handling what life throws her way. The ability to persevere is born from the belief that no matter how many times she falls, she has the power to rise again, stronger than before. The act of rising after a fall requires a shift in mindset. A woman who has faced hardship and overcome it knows that setbacks are not failures, they are opportunities for growth. This mindset shift is crucial in helping her navigate through life's toughest moments. Instead of viewing a fall as an insurmountable obstacle, she sees it as an opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. By embracing this mindset, she becomes unstoppable, as each failure only propels her toward her goals. The key to this mindset is the realization that failure is a natural part of the journey. It's not something to fear or avoid, but something to embrace, because it's through failure that we often learn the most profound lessons. When a woman rises after a fall, she does so with the wisdom gained from her experience, knowing that every mistake brings her closer to her dreams. Rising after a fall requires an immense amount of self-compassion. It's easy to fall into a negative spiral after facing a setback, especially when the world seems to be telling you that you're not good enough. But a woman who rises understands the importance of treating herself with kindness during difficult times. Self-compassion means forgiving herself for any missteps, letting go of shame or guilt, and offering herself the same love and understanding she would give to a friend. This compassion is not just about offering herself a sense of comfort, but about recognizing her own humanity and imperfections. When she falls, she doesn't chastise herself or dwell on her mistakes. Instead, she picks herself up with grace and moves forward, knowing that perfection is not the goal, growth is. By practicing self-compassion, she is able to heal faster and move through adversity with more ease, strengthening her emotional resilience. Part of the journey of rising after a fall involves reconnecting with a sense of purpose. Sometimes falls can leave a person feeling lost or disconnected from their dreams and passions. A woman who rises after a fall knows that the key to overcoming adversity is reconnecting with what truly matters to her. Her purpose becomes the driving force that propels her forward, even when times are tough. Reconnecting with her why reminds her that her struggles are not in vain, they are a part of her larger journey. By refocusing on her passions and the reasons she started her journey in the first place, she taps into an endless well of motivation. When the challenges of life seem overwhelming, it is the sense of purpose that sustains her. It reminds her that there is something greater waiting for her on the other side of her struggles, something that makes every obstacle worth facing. The power of purpose drives her forward, giving her the strength to rise even when she feels like giving up. Another critical component of rising after a fall is the importance of setting boundaries and seeking support. No one can go through life's challenges alone, and a woman who rises understands the power of asking for help when needed. Sometimes the weight of a fall can feel unbearable, and during those moments, reaching out for support becomes not only a necessity but a strength. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness but an acknowledgement that we are all interconnected and we thrive through collaboration and support. A woman who rises knows that it's okay to lean on others when needed, whether it's a trusted friend, family member, mentor, or even a therapist. Seeking help allows her to process her emotions, gain new perspectives, and gain the confidence to continue her journey. This support network serves as a foundation that she can rely on when times get tough. Additionally, setting boundaries is essential in the process of healing and rising. She knows that she must protect her mental and emotional well-being during difficult times, and this often requires saying no to certain situations, people, or commitments that drain her energy. By setting healthy boundaries, she ensures that she is able to focus on her growth and recovery. The ability to rise after a fall is rooted in an unwavering belief in one's own potential. A woman who has fallen and risen knows that her mistakes or setbacks do not define her worth. She understands that she is not a failure because of her struggles, but rather her struggles are a testament to her strength and capacity to overcome. This deep sense of self-belief is what drives her to keep moving forward, even when the world tells her to stop. When she looks at herself, she sees not just the woman who has fallen, but the woman who has the power to rise, rebuild, and create the life she desires. This belief in her potential becomes the fuel that keeps her going, even in the most difficult of circumstances. When others may doubt her, she holds firm in her belief that she has everything she needs to succeed. Her past falls are not a reflection of her future, but stepping stones that lead her toward the life she envisions. With each rise, her belief in herself becomes stronger, and she understands that nothing is impossible for her to achieve. A woman who rises after a fall is a symbol of resilience, strength, and grace. She teaches us that setbacks are not the end of the road, but an opportunity to grow, learn, and emerge even stronger than before. Through perseverance, self-compassion, purpose, support, and self-belief, she rises with the power to create the life she desires. She shows us that failure is not something to fear, but something to embrace as part of the journey to success. Every fall is a lesson, and every rise is a victory. The woman who rises proves that with the right mindset, no challenge is too great to overcome. A woman who rises after a fall understands the transformative power of resilience. Life is full of challenges, some of which can feel insurmountable, whether it's personal loss, professional setbacks, health challenges, or emotional pain. There are moments when life knocks you down. However, a woman who knows how to rise after falling is a living testament to the strength that resides within us all. Resilience is not a trait that one is born with, it is a skill that is honed through experience. When life throws obstacles in her path, she doesn't give up or resign herself to defeat. Instead, she taps into her inner strength, knowing that adversity is not the end of her story, but rather the beginning of her transformation. This powerful characteristic is shaped over time, forged through each challenge and setback she faces. Each time she falls, she learns more about her own abilities and grows stronger. Her resilience is a constant reminder that while life may not always go as planned, the ability to rise again is what truly matters. A critical element of resilience is the ability to reframe a fall or setback as an opportunity for growth. For many, facing failure can lead to feelings of defeat and self-doubt. It's easy to let negative thoughts cloud the mind and make it difficult to move forward. However, a woman who rises after a fall understands that failure is not the end of the road, but simply a part of the journey. Instead of focusing on the negative aspects of her experience, she chooses to see the lesson in every situation. She understands that each challenge is a stepping stone that brings her closer to her goals. By reframing failure in this way, she allows herself to embrace the opportunity for growth rather than asking, "Why me?" She asks, what can I learn from this? This shift in mindset allows her to not only overcome obstacles, but to thrive in the face of them. She understands that mistakes are not a reflection of her worth, but rather an essential part of the process of reaching her full potential. A woman must also learn the art of self-compassion. In a world that often demands perfection, it can be easy to be hard on oneself when things don't go as planned. A woman who falls and rises knows that being kind to herself is not just important, it's necessary for healing and growth. When she faces challenges or makes mistakes, she does not condemn herself. Instead, she acknowledges her feelings and allows herself the space to process them. This process involves forgiving herself for any missteps, understanding that no one is perfect. By practicing self-compassion, she can heal and grow stronger after each fall. This gentle approach to herself enables her to move forward with grace, understanding that she is not defined by her mistakes, but by her capacity to rise again. She understands that self-compassion is not a sign of weakness, but a powerful tool that helps her stay grounded and focused during difficult times. When a woman rises after a fall, she does so with the knowledge that she is worthy of love and care, no matter the challenges she faces. Another important factor in a woman's ability to rise after a fall is the support system she builds around herself. No one should have to face adversity alone. A woman who rises knows the importance of seeking help and leaning on others during difficult times. Whether it's friends, family, mentors, or a support group, she knows that having people who believe in her can make all the difference in the world. These people offer encouragement, perspective, and a safe space to process emotions. They remind her that she is not alone and that she has a network of people who are rooting for her. The support of others can be a powerful source of strength, providing comfort and encouragement when she feels like giving up. In addition to receiving support, a woman who rises after a fall also knows the value of being there for others. This exchange of support creates a cycle of encouragement where each person lifts the other up. In times of need, the woman who rises is able to draw on the strength of those around her, allowing her to face challenges with confidence and grace. A woman who rises also possesses an unwavering belief in her own potential. No matter how many times she falls, she always knows deep down that she has the ability to overcome whatever comes her way. This belief is not based on her circumstances or the approval of others. It is rooted in her own self-awareness and inner strength. She understands that her value is not defined by her failures or mistakes, but by her capacity to persevere and grow. This self-belief is what propels her forward, even when the road ahead seems uncertain. It allows her to face each challenge with the confidence that no matter how tough things may get, she has the ability to rise again. This belief in herself is what keeps her going when external circumstances may suggest otherwise. It is this unwavering confidence in her own potential that fuels her resilience and makes her unstoppable. A woman who rises after a fall knows that the process of recovery is not linear. Healing and growth take time, and there will be setbacks along the way. However, she does not let these setbacks define her. Instead, she embraces the journey, understanding that growth is a continuous process. She takes one step at a time, celebrating the small victories along the way. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a testament to her strength and determination. A woman who rises understands that the road to recovery is not a straight line, but a series of ups and downs. She accepts the ebb and flow of life, knowing that she will eventually find her way to a place of peace and fulfillment. Her willingness to be patient with herself and trust in the process allows her to keep moving forward, even when the path ahead is unclear. A woman who rises after a fall is a symbol of resilience, self-compassion, support, belief, and patience. Through each fall, she learns more about herself, gaining strength and wisdom. She shows us that setbacks are not the end of the journey, but part of the process of growth and transformation. By embracing failure, practicing self-compassion, leaning on her support system, believing in her potential, and trusting in the process, she demonstrates that no matter how many times she falls, she will always rise again. A woman who rises after a fall possesses a deep understanding that growth often emerges from the toughest of circumstances. Life will inevitably present challenges, setbacks, and times when it feels as though everything has been lost. However, a woman who has experienced a fall and risen from it knows that these hardships are often the catalyst for personal transformation. She understands that growth is not linear. It doesn't come without struggle or loss. But through every fall, she gains a new level of wisdom, strength, and understanding. She sees obstacles not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to learn and grow. The strength she builds is not just physical, but emotional, mental, and spiritual. Rising from a fall is not about simply bouncing back to where you were before. It's about transcending your past self and becoming the person you were always meant to be. Rising after a fall requires a shift in perspective. When life knocks her down, a woman who rises does not focus on the negativity surrounding her situation. Instead, she chooses to view her challenges from a place of optimism and possibility. She understands that her current circumstances do not define her future. This mindset shift is vital in allowing her to move forward. Instead of being consumed by fear, self-doubt, or regret, she focuses on the lessons learned and the growth that can be achieved from the experience. The ability to reframe negative situations allows her to maintain hope and find solutions even when everything feels uncertain. She refuses to let her past mistakes or failures determine her future, and this empowered mindset is what propels her forward through the toughest times. Part of rising after a fall is also the ability to practice forgiveness. Forgiveness is a powerful tool in a woman's journey of recovery, not only in relation to others, but also to herself. Sometimes a fall occurs as a result of poor decisions or actions, and the tendency may be to dwell in guilt or regret. However, a woman who rises understands that forgiveness is key to her emotional freedom. She forgives herself for the mistakes she made, understanding that no one is perfect. Self-forgiveness allows her to release negative emotions and start anew with a clean slate. She does not allow guilt to paralyze her, but instead uses it as a tool for growth. Additionally, when forgiveness extends to others, it provides her with a sense of peace and release. The act of letting go of resentment or anger frees her from the emotional baggage that may have kept her stuck in the past. Through forgiveness, she regains her power and opens the door to healing and new possibilities. Another crucial aspect of rising after a fall is the ability to embrace vulnerability. A woman who has experienced a fall knows that healing cannot happen in isolation. She understands that vulnerability is not a weakness, but rather a source of strength. It takes courage to admit when you need help or when you're struggling. By being vulnerable, she creates space for healing and allows others to step in and offer their support. Through vulnerability, she also connects with others on a deeper level. She recognizes that everyone faces challenges, and by sharing her own story, she creates opportunities for others to do the same. This shared experience of vulnerability fosters community and creates a support network that is invaluable in times of need. Rising after a fall requires the strength to be open, to ask for help when needed, and to share your journey with those who are willing to walk alongside you. An important element of a woman's ability to rise is rooted in her sense of purpose. When faced with setbacks or adversity, a woman who rises is driven by a sense of purpose that transcends the challenges she faces. Her purpose is the fuel that keeps her going when the road ahead seems dark and uncertain. This sense of purpose might be tied to her personal goals, her family, her community, or her passion for helping others. Whatever it is, her purpose serves as the guiding light that directs her toward healing and transformation. It reminds her why she started in the first place and provides her with the motivation to keep going, even when everything seems to be falling apart. Having a purpose gives her a reason to rise again, knowing that the difficulties she faces are part of a much larger picture. This sense of purpose enables her to push through the hardest times, secure in the knowledge that every challenge she faces brings her closer to the fulfillment of her dreams. Rising after a fall requires resilience, but it also requires the courage to redefine success. A woman who has fallen and risen understands that success is not a one-size-fits-all concept. It is personal, individual, and often built upon a foundation of failure and overcoming obstacles. What once seemed like a failure is often the beginning of a new chapter, one that leads to greater accomplishments. By redefining success in her own terms, she frees herself from the limitations and expectations imposed by others. She recognizes that success is not simply about achieving external goals or reaching a specific destination. It is about the journey itself, the strength, growth, and wisdom that come from overcoming obstacles. The woman who rises after a fall knows that success is a continuous process shaped not just by achievements, but by resilience, self-compassion, and the courage to keep moving forward despite challenges. So she is not defined by her failures, but by her ability to rise again, stronger and more determined than before. A woman who rises after a fall exemplifies the power of perseverance, vulnerability, self-forgiveness, purpose, and resilience. She shows us that setbacks do not define us, but rather shape us into who we are meant to become. Through every fall, she rises with more wisdom, strength, and grace, embodying the truth that no matter how many times life knocks us down, we have the power to get back up and keep moving forward. A woman who rises after a fall is a powerful reminder of the resilience and strength that resides within us all. She teaches us that setbacks are not the end, but opportunities for growth and transformation. Through every challenge, she becomes stronger, wiser, and more determined. Her ability to rise is rooted in her capacity to learn from adversity, practice self-compassion, and maintain a sense of purpose despite the struggles. She embraces vulnerability and forgiveness, understanding that healing requires openness and the courage to move forward. Ultimately, a woman who rises after a fall exemplifies the truth that life is not about avoiding failure, but about finding the strength to rise again, no matter how many times we fall. Her journey is a testament to the indomitable spirit that we all possess, reminding us that no matter the hardships we face, we have the power to rise, rebuild, and flourish.